takes a team, it takes discipline, it takes focus, targets, leadership. The difference is there's no final whistle with MFC.
Words like service, customer-centred, focus, quality, garments. Why we do what we do, why we exist. That's the big one.
Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to St. Crone's J Club in County Roscommon, where we are for a Masters double header on this Saturday afternoon. First up, we've got the Masters Challenge Cup final between Cavan and Sligo, and that game throws in shortly at 2 o'clock. And then coming up later on, it's Mayo versus Roscommon in the Masters Plate final from 4 o'clock this afternoon. So we're looking forward to a busy afternoon of action here, and delighted to say that I'm joined on co-commentary for our first game by Paul Gallagher from Donegal, a vastly experienced campaigner with Masters football now over a long number of years. And Paul, you're well experienced with both of these teams as well, Cavan and Sligo, in our first match.
Yeah, Donegal have played Cavan and Sligo this year in the championship. Two tough matches. I'd say Sligo gave us more problems than Cavan did. They played Cavan early in the season, but Sligo, once they have their full squad out, they're a formidable team. So I'm expecting a good tight battle here today. Yeah,
the conditions are pretty much perfect. It's not quite as warm as it was in the last couple of days. A little bit of cloud in the sky. There is a slight breeze blowing as well, so not quite as warm. And it looks like that breeze will be blowing from right to left as we look at it in your picture there, from left to right, as the tricolour would indicate at the bottom of your picture in the opening half. So we'll keep an eye on the toss to see who will play with the aid of that wind in the first half. Cavan have gone through quite a strenuous warm-up. They've got what it looks like, Paul, is a large squad of players today, which is always pretty important.
You know, a day like this where it's so warm, making the right subs at the right time, the rolling subs is very, very important. I think, yes, they've been such a scorcher. A lot of the players will be rehydrating. Yes, they expecting a hotter day, but overcast should keep a bit cooler, but it's still warm breeze out there.
Yeah, it's as you can see from your picture there, the St. Crone's J Club in absolutely wonderful condition. It's a credit to all the local club members to have the grounds so well presented for our double header this afternoon, and a little bit of a crowd making their way into the pitch as well. So we're looking forward to a busy afternoon of action. We're hearing some late changes on both teams for today's game. Cavan with a large squad, as we say, 37 players listed in the programme, and they make one late change at centre half back, where Pierce West, who was listed to start wearing number 6, has made way, and Shane McInerney will wear number 31 and line out there at number 6. Sligo then with Pam Murphy wearing 25 at full back, and Peter Lyons at full forward will wear 17 instead of 14, and a couple of changes amongst the Sligo substitutes as well. But I guess when you get to this stage of the competition, the competitive juices still flow for all the players, and they'll want to get their hands, Paul, on some silverware today.
Oh, 100%. It's all about making finals with the Masters and keeping the season going. The likes of Cavan there, they won the plate last year, so they've been up a level now, so that they're going through a cycle of up and down through the levels, and they expect to bring silverware back again today. No more than Sligo. Sligo have been going since 2016. They made the main All-Ireland final in 2017. Were defeated by Mayo. So it's a big day for Sligo, try and get them hands on some silverware after all the years of hard work.
Yeah, and there's more finals to come in the next couple of weeks. Kerry and Tyrone in the Tier 1 competition final next weekend on the 16th of September. Armagh Limerick will play in the Spirit Cup final, which is the 5th tier, and then in the 2nd tier, the Shield final. That'll be between Derry and London, and that game is in a couple of weeks' time. But it's the Challenge Cup final that's our focus of attention here between Cavan and Sligo. The teams still going through their respective warm-up routines ahead of throw-in, and it's going to be an interesting one, particularly with that breeze that I mentioned. It looks to be blowing fairly strongly, Paul, from right to left as we look out, and that you would imagine will have a fairly big impact on the game.
It will have a bearing, yeah. Which way to go with the wind die? Will it get stronger? So it's a big decision on the toss to go with it or against it. Personally, I would go with it in the first half anyway, if I had the choice.
Yeah, to try and get ahead, and some good forwards on both teams. Colin Riley lining out a corner forward for Cavan, Michael McGovern and Declan Baird in the full forward line as well, and then Sligo with the likes of Ian Rossiter and Peter Lyons in their forward line, and Carl O'Neill, who was a former county panellist with Sligo over the years, is amongst the Sligo squad. We'll expect him to maybe play some sort of a role this afternoon. In terms of the wider picture of the Masters football, I think our match programme today, with so many teams involved in different finals and so many different tiers, that probably reflects, Paul, the strength of Masters football across the country right now.
Well, the Masters have been going for a number of years with John Pat Sheridan on the helm, and Donegal joined in 2015. I think there was 9 teams. Today we've got 23 teams. So it's a testament of how much Masters has progressed over the last 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, it's really grown in stature, and hopefully more counties will join in the years ahead. In terms of the standard, you've seen quite a few matches this year across the different grades. How would you describe it, Paul?
The standard varies, and that's the way it should be. As the way the league format goes, everybody finds their own level, and be it a plate final, be it the all-line final, be it a shield final, everybody finds their own level, and that's the beauty of it. So that's for having so many different tiers. It keeps everybody involved right up into the last games of the league campaign.
And that's what it is all about. And Sligo and Cavan with the chance to get their hands on the first silverware of the series of finals. Sligo have just made their way out onto the field. They went in after their warm-up just to get themselves ready, and they're making their way out. Cavan have been out for quite a long time now. They've gone through a big warm-up routine away to our left-hand side. They're just getting some final instructions down into the corner as some of the subs kick into the goal there, as you can see on your screen in front of you. But throw-in is fast approaching. Our match referee for the first game will be Ray McBride from Leitrim. He's just out on the field now as well with his team of officials, and we're almost set to go for the first game. We might bring you some pre-match interviews too from the Sligo camp, and indeed from the Cavan camp ahead of throw-in, if we can get them for you in time. But we're almost now set to go, and as I say, later on today, Mayo and Roscommon play in the Masters Plate Final, which will throw in at 4 o'clock, and we'll have that one live for you here on the live stream as well. So Sligo break away from their team picture, and they're almost set to go for this game. Nigel Clancy and Con O'Mara in charge of Sligo. Cavan managed by Noel McPhillips, Keelan Melaniff and Jimmy Galligan, also part of the Cavan management team. Sligo will play in their traditional black jerseys, Cavan in their traditional blue. And we're just awaiting the toss now, because as I say, it's going to be pretty important to see who plays with the wind in the first half. Sligo with, as I say, a couple of really good inside forwards. They'll be hoping to get off to a fast start. And now I think we can bring you some pre-match interviews maybe from the respective camps, just to hear from the two teams ahead of throw-in, which is now fast approaching in just 5 minutes time. And we're just getting a couple of interviews ready for you. Sligo still going through a warm-up away to our right-hand side, and Cavan doing likewise away to our left-hand side. Some of the crowd still coming in to the ground, but there are quite a few people now making their way to the St. Crohn's GA Club here for what promises to be a very entertaining match between Cavan and Sligo in the first of our finals. And now we can bring you some pre-match interviews. Let's join Angelina.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined by the Cavan manager, Noel McPhillips. Noel, you're moving well there. You had a nice warm-up. How's the mood in the camp?
We're quietly confident now, but we're happy with the way things have went the last week or so. And yeah.
Have you a full squad to choose from?
We're just missing one lad, so apart from that, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, this Masters competition, I think it means an awful lot to the lads involved. Is it fair to say that? And the fact that we have the various grades of competition as well.
The hunger is still alive and well, and every man they're chomping at the bit, and they're still as competitive as ever. And I think that's the way for any team in the Masters. That's the way they are.
It means a lot to lads. What would it mean to beat Sligo today?
Any day you get a win in the final is a good day. So we're relishing the match. Yeah.
Well, no, listen, enjoy it. The very best of luck. Thank you so much for joining us. You did a good job of hiding on me for a while. Hopefully we'll grab Con O'Mara before throw-in time. We have a couple of minutes, so we'll be back to you shortly, Cathal.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Angelina. Con is there, and he might have a quick word with you before throw-in. Good to hear from the Cavan camp and Noel McPhillips. It looks like they have a pretty much a full selection to choose from. So Cavan will be quite strong in this final. And what about Sligo? Well, let's join Angelina.
And we have Con O'Mara with us now, part of the Sligo management team. Con, listen, lovely day here at St. Crohn's GAA Club. You're looking forward to this challenge, I'm sure.
Oh, we're really looking forward to it. Like, it's a great setting, and it's great to see the media coverage and, good few people out and fantastic pitch and all that, yeah.
There is a buzz around it, and even Noel McPhillips was saying that the hunger is there with the lads. As he said, it's a nice crowd still continuing to come in for the two games. It's important, isn't it, that?
It is, yeah, and no matter what age you are, a bit of competition and getting to a final, the old cliche, they're there for winning, so both teams will be good to go at it, and hopefully they'll serve up a good game too.
What's the mood like in the Sligo camp?
Well, it's great. We got the jerseys sorted there. We had a couple of number issues and all that, and we had a man pulled a quad in the warm-up, even though it was light enough. You saw it there, Angelina. There's a rule of Masters. You don't overexertion in the warm-up is not recommended. But no, we're really looking forward to it, and we're hoping it's a good game. And we'd like to win a final. We've been in since 2016. We lost a final to Mayo and all our top-tier final in 2017, and we've been kind of struggling since. It'll be a great lift for us to get some silverware.
Listen, best of luck, Con. We'll talk to you afterwards. Thanks so much, Con O'Mara there, himself and Nigel Clancy looking after the Sligo Masters team today. So, yeah, the warm-ups weren't too strenuous, I have to say. And I'm glad, Cahill, that Sligo have their number issues sorted out, because I'd rather you than me on that.
So am I.
To you.
So am I, Angelina. But I think we're nearly ready to go now. Sligo, it looks like Paul are going to play with that breeze in the first half.
Way, yeah. They're setting up that way, yes. They're playing with the breeze.
So that should help Sligo in the early stages. Looks like Johnny Martin is in as well, another man with a lot of inter-county experience, still playing at club level as well with St Mary's and Sligo Town. They're going well in the Sligo Senior Championship, and he is in from the start here for Sligo. So it will be the 8th county with the breeze in the first half. Looks like Ross Donovan, another man with a lot of inter-county experience, is going to line out at full back for Sligo as the players make their way towards their respective positions. Now Cavan making their way in as well, so it's going to be a case probably of Sligo trying to put up a little bit of a score maybe in the first half, Paul, with that breeze at their backs.
Oh, definitely letting the ball into the full forward line. I'm sure they've got plenty of firepower in there to get the ball in, get the scores. But again, with Masters football, it's all about keeping possession of the ball, not giving it away, and making good use of your energy out there while you're on the field.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's going to be Johnny Martin and Shane Dunn in the middle of the field for Sligo as we pause for Aron Naveen. And that's Aron Naveen, beautifully sung before throw-in here at St Crohn's J Club. It's Fergal Maguire and Mick Doherty in the centre of the park for Cavan here in their traditional blue jerseys, white togs and blue socks for the first half. Sligo in all that black as usual. So away we go for this Challenge Cup final. Sligo against Cavan. Sligo have some early possession, but they've given away a free. Cavan have got it now in the middle. Let's see what they can do with that early ball in. Good hand in from Brendan Tierney for Sligo. Declan Cawley is back there now trying to help out as well, but Kieran Fox has done well for Cavan. They had the advantage there, and now they've got the free just on that 45-metre line. What can they make of this first foray forward? That's a useful looking ball in, but well, cleared away in unorthodox fashion by Sligo initially. The foot on it from Damien Kelly. I think that's gone out for a 45.
Yeah, it's gone out for 45, but unorthodox defending there, as you said yourself, Cahill, but they got away with it.
Probably that's again, the breeze just kind of took that one out of the air, didn't it, as we're coming towards Damien Kelly, but he managed to get something on it. It's going to be a 45 for Cavan to be taken by Shawnee Farrelly. Now this is quite a long way out. He is well capable of hitting them, Shawnee Farrelly, and you can see he struck that one fairly well. Cavan trying to keep it in, but they've been unable to do so. That's a first wide of the match, and Sligo get away without conceding from that first attack.
I think it was a good indication of how strong that wind is, Cahill. He didn't get much height on that 45, so again the elements are going to play a part in this game today.
Darren Cairns with the Sligo kick out, just taking his time, making a dart across is Kevin Gallagher. He's being followed by Anthony Brady, the wing forward. This kick out over to the far side, looking for Pa Murphy, doesn't quite come off for Sligo, and Cavan setting up camp in the Sligo half in the early stages here. That ball looping across, well gathered by Fergal Maguire. Hand in from Aaron Nicholson, almost winning it back for Sligo, but Cavan now just getting caught in possession. Well gathered by Colin Neri from the Tour de Strand club in South Sligo. They're bidding for their 8th senior championship title in a row this campaign. Colin has plenty of county medals himself. Sligo in possession now with Ian Rossiter. Johnny Martin trying to pick out a pass. Declan Cawley has made a dart into space. Kieran Fox is following him. Cawley unable to get there in time. And out for a line ball. Well, Sligo are setting up with Peter Lyons just holding his position in there on the edge of the square. Well, Cavan looking pretty comfortable in defence so far.
Yeah, Cavan's been quite smart with the ball at the moment, playing against the wind. They're trying to slow the game down, keep possession. I think it's very up to Sligo to push on and put the tackle in. Get a couple
and there is a good hand from Johnny Martin helping Sligo win the turnover. Now, can they make the most of it? There might be a goal on here for Sligo. It's all the way across. Shane Dunn trying to get a shot away back outside to Kieran Kilgannon, and then the chance goes a begging for Sligo. Well, they really should have come away with at least a point there, maybe even a goal. I think definitely. Shane Dunn thought the goal was on.
Oh, definitely a goal on there, at least a point, but good defending by the Cavan full back line.
Now can Cavan make a count at the other end? Nice ball forward into space for the run of Keith Fannin. He's being tracked all the way by Pam Murphy. Gets inside the first challenge. Gallagher there now to challenge for Sligo, but it's still the Cavan man, Keith Fannin, making great ground. Can they come away with the score? You feel like that might be a big moment already in this match. Pierce West finishing it off, and Cavan with the first score of the match. It's come after 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good break by Cavan there, especially breaking the first tackle. Everything opened up for them and they took their score well.
So Cavan lead, and what could have been a Sligo goal at the other end turns into a Cavan point at the other end of the park, and the men from Ulster lead by a point to no score. This kick out is out on top of Aaron Nicholson. And that is a Sligo ball. I think Cavan thought that had gone straight out, but it took a flick on the way through according to the linesman. Johnny Martin now for Sligo, playing it forward to the run of Carl Hannon. He's looking for Peter Lyons, who's in acres of space here. Now Lyons is well able to keep them from here. Was just under pressure as he struck that one. The referee's looking at the challenge, but he's happy enough that it was a legal and fair one. And that's Sligo's first white.
Yeah, that's the first ball into Peter Lyons. I think he was under a bit of pressure there on the kick, but again, they're looking for Lyons every opportunity there.
Kick out to the far side. It's going to be picked up by Declan Cawley. Can Sligo make a count here? Another chance maybe for Peter Lyons. He's going to take on the shot. Good strike on that one. I think he likes the look of it. Yes. And so too do the Sligo faithful. That's a fine score from Peter Lyons, and Sligo back on level terms.
Yeah, well, I think Peter Lyons learned from his first opportunity there, and he struck it over the ball nicely there.
Well, that looks like the tactic for Sligo, doesn't it? To get that ball in as quickly as possible to Peter Lyons.
Oh, 100%. Put that wind in their favour, getting the ball into Peter Lyons and making hay.
Kick out goes short. Cavan under pressure inside their own 45 lines, applying the pressure this time in the tackle. Dahi Neri now. Now back to the goalkeeper, Patch Corrigan. 5 minutes played in this Challenge Cup final. Cavan a point, Sligo a point. Cavan keeping the ball well here in the early stages, working it forward nicely now. Colm Riley is out in front, being picked up by Damien Kelly. Here come Cavan again now. Nice ball inside. Brendan Tierney just standing off. It's gathered by Michael McGovern. And now the shot coming in from Keith Fannin. This will be a really good score if they can get it. And the nod from the umpire tells you that has gone between the posts. That's a really well-worked score from Cavan.
Excellent score. A good ball into Michael McGovern there. He's out in front of his marker and laid off nicely for the score.
So Cavan 2 points to 1 in front. Darren Cairns taking his time with the kick out. The last couple of Sligo kickouts haven't gone to hand. Let's see, can they make this one count? Nicholson this time has made the dart to the far side. He's got possession. Declan Cawley is there as well now. Johnny Martin, who's been pretty influential so far. Martin taking it forward now. Ball down into the corner. This time looking for Kieran Kilgannon. That looks like a foul, and it is. And Sligo will have the free in.
Yeah, a bit of a dodgy hand in the back there from the full back.
So here's the chance now from the free for Sligo. It is quite a tight angle. Looks like Ian Rossiter might take it. He is a right-footed player. So it is quite a tricky angle here, just as you can see, just outside that 30-metre line, maybe even on it for Sligo. Ray McBrien just showing Rossiter where to take this one from. Not the easiest kick to get started with.
It was an easy one to start with, but I fancy Russell to stick this one over.
From the St. John's Club in Carrow Road, just outside Sligo town, Rossiter looking after this one. I think that one has gone over. It has. That's a really good kick from Ian Rossiter to bring Sligo level. 2 points apiece after 7 minutes. It's been an interesting start, as we expected.
Yeah, I think it's as we said, it was going to be a tight game. I think that Cavan are holding the ball better than Sligo at the moment. I think Sligo need to let the ball go a bit quicker, especially with the breeze.
Now the kick out from Patch Corrigan. Oh, that was almost cut out by Peter Lyons. Cavan, though, get away with it. Stephen Tighe taking it forward. Now he needs some help. We'll get it from Fergal Maguire, who's waiting on this right-hand side. He gets it off Mick Doherty. Ball down the line. There is some space here for Kieran Fox to run into. He's being chased by Colin Nary. Nary and Gallagher now helping out. Was that one across the line? It was. Good defending from Sligo. And they win the line ball just in front of their own dugout down there. Gallagher looking for an option, eventually goes short to Shane Dunn. Dunn's hand pass just a little bit too far away from Gallagher, and now Cavan have it back. It's with Keith Fannin. Fannin will surely try and get this one into a shooting position off that trusty left boot. Keith Fannin had a point earlier on. He's got another. That's his second of the game. And Cavan moved 3-2 in front, all coming from a Sligo turnover.
Yeah, excellent finish by Cavan there. But again, Cavan pushing on to the sideline ball, getting the turnover and getting the score from excellent defending there.
Darren Cairns now. Can this kick out work out for Sligo? Cairns, a player who was on the Sligo senior panel when they won the Connacht Championship back in 2007. Declan Cawley will get this one up off his St. Farnan's club mate Kieran Kilgannon, and now Sligo on the attack. Johnny Martin, not a whole lot of support on in front of him. Martin goes for the shot. He was clattered into when he took the shot, but it's just off target from the St. Mary's man. Sligo's second wide of the game, but Johnny Martin has been very influential as expected.
He has been so far, yeah, and Sligo looking for him to keep pushing forward, looking for lines, and again taking the game to Cavan.
Kick out will come from Patch Corrigan. Good game so far.
Yeah, it's good tight game, Cahill.
Good standard. That's a really good kick out into the run of Philip Monaghan. Was being tracked there by Aaron Nicholson. Cavan have kept the ball really well, haven't they? In this area of the field, they've worked it really nicely. Mick Doherty now. He's looking up for an option. There's a two-man full forward line in there. This man has come out. This is Colin Riley being tracked by Damien Kelly. So plenty of space inside for that long ball in, and we might just get it here. Ball is played in. Sligo look to have enough numbers back there to try and deal with it. They surround the ball carrier, but back outside it comes to Colin Riley. And Cavan looking for another point, and you know what? They've got it. It's a wonderful score from Colin Riley. 2 for Keith Fannin so far. Colin Riley has got in on the act now, and Cavan lead by 4 points to 2.
Yeah, good move there. I think Michael McGovern's causing all sorts of problems for the Sligo back line there. He's out in front, laying off to Riley for an excellent score.
Darren Cairns trying to place this one. Excellent kick out right to the run of Kevin Gallagher. And Sligo now down the far sideline this time. Gallagher has continued his run here, and this might just open up for Sligo. Gallagher has made a burst all of 60 yards. Now Lyons inside towards Declan Cawley. Carl Hannon's coming out to help as well. Lyons is going to take on the shot. Difficult angle. Has he curled it enough? The answer is no. And it goes to the right and wide. Third wide for Sligo, as some rain starts to fall at the St. Crone's GA Club.
That might be welcomed, Cal.
But it is exceptionally warm. The players just getting some gloves now onto the field as well. Might dampen that little bit of a breeze as well too, that rain.
Yeah, Sligo stacking up a few whites there, Cal. That's going to show in the second half, definitely.
Yeah, you would think it's probably at least a 3 or 4 point win, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely.
As Cavan again work it brilliantly from their own kick out, and Kieran Fox now picks it up. He's being tracked by Declan Cawley. It's now with Anthony Brady. He's looking up for a ball inside, but up towards the edge of the D. Might just be within shooting zone here for Cavan. Michael McGovern takes it up. Kieran Fox is looking for it on the edge of the D. Instead, Declan Beard now tries to round the challenge. Ross Donovan does well. Here comes a very ambitious effort from over on the far side, and Keith Fannin this time unable to find the target. A second wide for Cavan.
Yeah, a bit of a Hollywood kick there, Cal, to be honest.
You can see Sligo just getting some gloves onto the field as well. Ross Donovan putting on his glove. He's picking up Declan Beard at the edge of the square. Now Darren Cairns looking for a free man from the kick-out. Shane Dunn has made the dart to the far side, but I suppose that's the disadvantage of playing with the breeze, that it can skid away from you.
Yes, Sligo are pretty much struggling with their kickouts at the moment, so they need to get that under control.
They've done well here, Sligo. They've won it back here, and Kilgannon doing well. Now Johnny Martin, he's got options left and right. Goes to Declan Cawley down into that corner. Will Cawley take on his man here? There's a man in space. Rossiter, there might be a goal on here for Sligo. Ian Rossiter will settle for the point. Better from Sligo. And Ian Rossiter, who kicked a point from a free earlier on in this first half, gets his first from play. And Sligo closed that gap down to 4 points to 3.
A good bit of pressure there by Sligo to getting the turnover and getting the score from it. I think that was important to get that score after the last couple of wides, so keeps it a 1 point game.
So midway through almost the first half now. And Cavan just edging it by 4 points to 3. Johnny Martin chasing after the run of Mick Doherty. Doherty does brilliantly under pressure to gather possession. Now Sligo will try and surround the ball carrier, but Daineri has squirmed away. Anthony Brady now being tracked by Pa Murphy. Cavan have worked it really well from this part of the field, and again Keith Fannin has made the move. He's being tracked by Kevin Gallagher. Fannin again, ball inside. This is brilliant football from Cavan. There's runners through the middle as well. Shawnee Farrelly takes it up. Here's the chance now for Anthony Brady, well tracked by Brendan Tierney, and then Colin Nowry gets in. It's with Ross Donovan now, 2 players in front of him. One of them is Johnny Martin. Shane Dunn is there as well. Now Cavan have left a couple of players back. Martin gets the hand pass away to Shane Dunn. Dunn goes for the return. Now looking up for that ball inside. Finds the run of Kieran Kilgannon. Good play this from Sligo. Can they make it count? Kilgannon comes back outside. Rossiter got a point a couple of moments ago. Won't have the distance from here. Just didn't quite catch a hold of that one.
Yeah, needed to work to score a bit closer into the goals there, Cahill. No, that was an excellent opportunity missed.
And now the chance for Cavan to go on the counter down the other end. Colm O'Reilly. Ball inside, and now Sligo looking a little bit open. They have 2 players sitting there on the D. Keith Fannin has arguably been the game's best player so far. Tries to turn provider now. Ball inside towards Shawnee Farrelly, wrapped up by a couple of challenges. Ross Donovan battling hard back there. And Sligo win it back with Damien Kelly involved as well. Darren Cairns. So it's been a period of play. The ball hasn't been out of play for quite a while now. It's gone down one end, then the other. Rossiter all the way back inside his own half. Picks out Johnny Martin in the middle. Gallagher's off his shoulder. And now Sligo are 4-on-4 up inside the Cavan 45. Look at the space that Peter Lyons has. He should try and carry this one maybe a little bit. Plays it inside first time. Declan Cawley out in front, but just difficult to control with that little bit of a breeze and rain falling now as well. And Sligo give away the free.
A bit fortuitous in the free there, I think, Cal.
Sligo are unhappy with that decision, but free is the decision. Now it's picked up by Anthony Brady. Pa Murphy is just sitting back there in front of the full back line, just holding his position as a sweeper, but that'll allow Anthony Brady come out and take a hold of possession. Cavan looking to get inside the Sligo cover. Johnny Martin and Ross Donovan applying the pressure. Keith Fannin has a lovely left boot, but just trying to work it onto it here. Johnny Martin is coming out to shepherd him. Now Fannin will get it onto the left. Has he curled it enough? The answer is yes.
Yes.
From our vantage point, that looked wide, I have to say. I think you thought the same, Paul.
Same as that, but hey, we'll go with the decision on the field.
Yeah, and Sligo seem happy enough with the 2. They had a better angle, the Sligo backroom team as well. That's a wonderful score from Keith Fannin. 3 points from play already. Yeah. He's been certainly the game's best player. We're going to have a brief stoppage now for the water break. So Cavan leading by 5 points to 3, and undoubtedly, Paul, they're the happier team now going in at this water break.
No, I think Cavan deserved to be in the lead. I think they've been a bit smarter with the ball, moving it well, good moving inside, and like a good interplay. I think Sligo still trying to find their feet in this final, but still all to play for.
Yeah, certainly Sligo have shown flashes of promise. I think they're going to bring in Brian Oak Murphy there as well from Drumcliff. Ross's point, who is a player of real ability as well. But they will hope to put on a little bit of a scoring spurt. I guess Sligo had 3 wides, didn't they, Paul, in that period? They had 1 or 2 other chances, one into the keeper's hands, and really all of those scores, they need to be getting them, don't they, with the wind?
You need to be economical with your scores, especially in the final when it's going to be so tight. One into the keeper's hands was pretty much unforgivable, to be honest, from a player of that level, the likes of Peter Lyons. He should be putting that over the bar. But again, no goal chances really per se. I think goals are going to be very important in this game as well.
Yeah, if either team could get a goal, it really would breathe life into their challenge. But Cavan have kept that ball really well, kind of from their own kick out, haven't they? They've retained a lot of possession well, and then once they work it forward, they look incredibly dangerous.
They're very strong around the middle, Cal, and again, their ball retention has been very good. Yeah,
so Sligo making their way out. It looks like there's 1 or 2 changes. Carl O'Neill is certainly coming in. I think Brian O'Murphy as well. So 2 players with a lot of quality into the Sligo side of things. Looks like Cavan are sticking with the same lineup again. Maybe 1 change on the Cavan side as well. Thomas Leonard, wearing number 28, it looks like, has come onto the field.
I think Brian Murphy's going on as well, number 23 for Sligo.
Yeah. So that is a feature of Masters football, to be able to run the bench.
And Derek Cox as well, number 26.
So Sligo running the changes. Brian O'Murphy trying to get on an early ball there, but that has run away from him, and now Cavan have it with Keith Fannin. 3 points from play for him. Thomas Leonard is the Cavan man in, and he gets a touch here now, looking up for a ball inside. Low trajectory on it, but well gathered by Michael McGovern. That rain has stopped, but Cavan holding on to the greasy ball, and they've got a free. This one probably just about kickable, even into that breeze. About 35 yards on the angle. The full forward, Declan Beard, is going to take it from the hand. Plenty of airtime on this one. Has he curled it enough? The umpires are thinking about it. I'm not sure they're entirely sure. I think they said that was over the post, is what I'm interpreting, the little bit of a conversation that they had there. But no wide ball is the
Hawkeye today.
End decision. No Hawkeye. No Hawkeye. At St. Crohn's, and Sligo.
I'm quite surprised with Nigel Clancy at Connemara, the Sligo management. They haven't changed anybody on to Michael McGovern, because I think he's causing havoc in that full forward line winning ball.
Darren Cairns with the ball out again towards Brian O'Murphy. Broken away from him by Fergal Maguire, and Cavan have done very well off the Sligo kick out. They're coming again on the attack with Shawnee Farrelly now. Here's another chance for Cavan. Nice little dink ball from Cullum Riley out to the far side. It's picked up by Keith Fannin. He can do it off the left. How about the right as well? A 4th point from play from Keith Fannin, and Cavan moves 6 points to 3 in front. But what a game the wing forward is having.
Keith Fannin and Mike McGovern are really causing problems out there for them. The score taking has been excellent from the both of them so far. Off the left, off the right.
Cavan will be thrilled. I wonder, would Sligo think about putting a man marker on Keith Fannin as well?
I think they need to sew something up there.
Long from Darren Cairns this time, and that's a super ball. Well, it picked out Declan Cawley. He tried to get a hold of it, but wasn't able to.
I think he's waiting for a shout from one of his teammates there. He's just taking the catch.
Cavan pick it up again, but they really have done well on both sides of the kick out, haven't they, Cavan?
Cavan are showing their quality today, Cahill. Like, no, they are definitely up for this, and showing the better of the 2 teams so far.
Keith Fannin comes back outside to Thomas Leonard. Again, looking for that direct ball inside. Ross Donovan gets a hand on it before it went in towards Declan Beard, but the Cavan full forward now gets it at the 2nd time of asking. Then Sligo intervened. Did Palm Murphy touch that on the ground? Well, Cavan thought that he did.
I think he did.
But Sligo get away with it. Colin Neri now, the Sligo centre back. He's looking for a ball forward. Instead has to check back outside to Aaron Nicholson. Brian O'Murphy is looking for that long ball in now. Well, Cavan have outnumbered Peter Lyons there by 3-1. If Lyons can move this one, Sligo are inside. Well, he just didn't get it away quick enough. And now the free will be brought forward because Cavan delayed it, but I think it was Carl O'Neill who had popped into acres of space.
Made a great run inside, but again, Cavan been very cute, stood over the free, so it wasn't going to get away quickly.
Peter Lyons is going to lead this free to Ian Rossiter. Sligo could do it a score, couldn't they?
Oh yeah, definitely, just to stem the tide, keep them in the contest here.
6 points to 3, Cavan lead. This will be Ian Rossiter. 2 points already, one from a free, the other from play. Rossiter from the St. John's Club has just about got enough on that one. And over the bar it goes. That's better from Sligo.
Now, it's important for Sligo to get a score on the board after the water break. They've had chances and they need to start taking them.
6 points to 4. Now let's see, will the introduction of Brian O'Murphy just help that Sligo midfield attack the Cavan kick out? It's man for man out there.
Plenty of movement.
And that's what's working it for Cavan. Now they've tried to play this one into the run of Shawnee Farrelly. Too much on it. Colin Airy will have the line ball for Sligo. His Turlestrand clubmate Shane Dunn in acres of space in the middle. Now, can Sligo make it count? Peter Lyons has gone out to a wider position this time. Brian O'Murphy making a run off the shoulder of Dunn. Well, I think he was just in two minds there, wasn't he?
It was just hang on to the ball, be a bit more patient and work the score.
Shane Dunn, a prominent member of that Turlestrand team over so many years. One of the most successful club footballers in Sligo. Carl O'Neill is pushing up here for the 8th county, but Cavan keeping it well. Shawnee Farrelly back on his own 45, and now Cavan work it out to the far side of the field again. McDoherty. Sligo need to get back into a more defensive position now, but Cavan will be quite happy just to keep the ball here. This is probably what Sligo haven't done.
Yeah, they're being very smart with the ball, especially against the wind, keeping possession and just being patient and working the scores down.
Working it side to side very impressively, and then comes the pace of the run from Thomas Leonard, the new man in since the water break. Back outside it comes to Anthony Brady. He's going to drive it in onto the edge of the square, and Darren Cairns is favoured to get control of that one. Palms it away. Brian O'Murphy was alive to the danger. Not sure Brian O'Murphy was expecting that one, but he gets it in any case. Now Shane Dunn, Johnny Martin. Sligo need a spark from somewhere.
I'm not a big fan of goalkeepers palming balls out, to be honest.
Looks like Sligo are going to make another substitution. Trevor Sweeney is ready to come in. Meantime, Cavan working the ball well again through the hands, and now Fergal Maguire has got open country here. Sligo a +1 at the back with Damien Kelly, but Cavan just working it well. Anthony Brady now. Kevin Gallagher sitting off him. Comes back outside. It's look at Ross Donovan now picking up Keith Fannin. No surprise to see that. Donovan arguably Sligo's strongest defender, and Keith Fannin has been Cavan's strongest forward so far. Now Mick Doherty driving into space. This would be a fine score if he gets it. What a point that is from Mick Doherty, the midfielder.
That's an excellent score. Sligo have retreated quite a bit there, Cahill. Like they're not pressing outside the 45, and then when the break comes through the middle, Cavan getting scores from it. So I really like to see Sligo actually push up a bit further and put the press on Cavan. Try to get those turnovers, especially with the wind. They're not using it.
Long kick out from Sligo. Shane Dunn now down into space. Well, Lyons has got loads of space out in front of the Cavan full-back Stephen Tighe, but then Tighe puts in a really good challenge to interrupt the Ballymoteman's progress. Now it's with Brian O'Murphy back outside. Carl O'Neill will have a go from here surely. Trusty left boot over the years for Sligo and Coolera Strandhill, but this time he's unable to find the target, and Sligo just racking up the wides now. 4 in this first half.
Yeah, Sligo just panicking a bit at the moment on their scoring options. I think just settle down and work the scores.
Cavan playing really well in this Challenge Cup final. Mayo and Roscommon coming up for you later on at 4 o'clock. That's in the plate final. On a busy couple of weeks for Masters football. Cavan looking to get themselves the first piece of silverware. Ross Donovan competing for that one with Keith Fannin. Good work from Donovan. Trying to escape the clutches now of his Cavan marker, and does so. Now Johnny Martin carrying the ball forward, men off his shoulder. Can Sligo make this count? They need another point. Lyons gets that one out, shovels it out to Colin Nerry. Lovely dummy solo. Sligo need to make this count. Lyons will get the shot away. Again, Lyons kicking that one nicely, and that's a brilliant score from Sligo, and Peter Lyons is second of the game. Much better.
Oh, excellent score by Sligo. They really needed that score to keep them ticking over there. It's still only a one-score game.
Yeah, we've got 6 minutes to go to half-time. Cavan still in a very good position, but Sligo can just keep that scoreboard ticking over.
I'd say Cavan a bit happier. The management team's going into half-time as well. They've played some excellent football.
And Sligo have switched off from this kick out. They've given Kieran Fox acres of space there to get a hold of possession, and Now they go in the attack, Cavan. Playing some lovely football in this first half. Pam Murphy anticipated that one well. Strong challenge, but Cavan have got it back, and there might just be a goal on here. Beard is inside. Sligo tracking the run with Pam Murphy. And the decision is a throw ball, I think, from a Cavan player. And is that the decision? Well, the referee hasn't been...
He's going to talk to his umpire, so see what comes of that.
Well, Sligo think it's a free for themselves, so it looks like it was a signal for a throw. From our match referee. Now, whether something happened off the ball, I'm not quite sure that the umpires have spotted here. The game has been played in a very good spirit so far. Now, Ray McBrien is calling over Trevor Sweeney and Michael McGovern. Might be just a case of a yellow card apiece. It's still competitive.
It's been a well clean
contested
game so far, Carl. Like so, it's probably the first altercation we've seen.
Yeah. Both teams giving as good as they have in this first half, and it's going to be a yellow apiece for Trevor Sweeney and Michael McGovern.
Just to calm it down a little bit.
So the free will be for Sligo, and Darren Cairns, the goalkeeper, has ball in hand, but Cavan have squeezed right up. That wind has died down.
Yeah, the rain's picking up as well, Carl. So
yeah. That actually
slippy ball out there.
Might work in Sligo's favour. With that wind now dying down, they've had the benefit of it in the first half. Good ball from Ross Donovan to Carl O'Neill. Johnny Martin driving off his shoulder. This is better from Sligo. Cavan do have a +1 at the back. Johnny Martin looking for a ball inside. Peter Lyons has got it. Martin tries to get the return, but well, there's evidence of the slippy ball, Paul.
Yeah. Like it was a good one too there, but again, slippy ball on the hands. Chance gone.
Now, Cavan trying to go down the other end and hurt Sligo with another score. 27 minutes played. Sligo need to get defenders back here. There's acres of space for Cavan. Declan Beard is looking for it inside. Instead it'll come to Keith Fannin. 4 points already. How about a fifth? He's got it. Keith Fannin is having a brilliant match.
Yeah.
5 points from play.
I think Sligo's defence have dropped off, as I said earlier. Like, no, maybe it's the fitness levels, I'm not sure, but they're giving Cavan forwards far too much spaces. And they're paying the price.
Yeah, Cavan well on top now, 8 points to 5. They're playing into the breeze, remember, in the first half of this Challenge Cup final at the St. Crone's J Club in County Roscommon. Ball again from the Sligo kick-out goes to a Cavan hand. It's picked up by Kieran Fox. Lovely ball down as far as Colin Riley now. Sligo are just falling off, look to be losing legs maybe a little bit. That ball inside goes straight to Ross Donovan. Cavan cough up possession. Kevin Gallagher of Eastern Harps has the support of Aaron Nicholson. Gallagher again. Peter Lyons has come out to get on ball this time. Gallagher continued his run. Now ball down into the corner, picked up by Declan Cawley. Cawley looking for support in the outside. Rossiter will have a go. But that one again is off target. A fifth wide of the first half that I make it for Sligo.
Yeah, they're just pushing it too much, trying to get a score, difficult positions, just to relax a little bit.
So 90 seconds of normal time left to go until half-time. Sligo are going to run in a couple of other subs. Alan Bones and John McGowan are coming in, looking to add a bit of life to this Sligo challenge. Declan Cawley and Aaron Nicholson are the players to make way for now. Cavan again holding possession from their own kick out. Clearly something they've worked on, their own kick out, because it's really functioned brilliantly in this first half. Damien Kelly applying the pressure here on Mick Doherty. Doherty kicked a great point earlier on in this first half, gets the ball away in time. Nice pass from Colin Riley now. Is there another score in this for Cavan before half time? That ball has found its way through to Michael McGovern. trying to get away from Trevor Sweeney. McGovern has got away from Trevor Sweeney, and he's got the point as well. What a great kick that is.
That was fantastic score there from McGovern. Sligo had put Trevor Sweeney on to McGovern, but again, it hasn't made any difference. Like, he's just been very elusive today for Cavan.
9 points to 5 in favour of Cavan, with that breeze advantage to come in the second half. But as the flags will tell you there on your screen, the breeze not quite as strong as it was at throw-in, with that rain still continuing to drop from the sky. Brian Murphy competes for that one with Fergal Maguire. The break is picked up by Kevin Gallagher now, driving forward for Sligo. They'd love a goal before half-time. Maybe they might just get one here. Peter Lyons is in around the back. Lyons has got it. Can Sligo get the goal that they so badly need? Is that a penalty? The referee has pointed, I think, for a free. I think the initial contact he felt happened outside the
Possibly, yes.
penalty area. Peter Lyons is adamant that that was inside.
Huge opportunity.
Big moment. A goal for Sligo would really have livened up their challenge heading into half-time, but they might just have to settle for the point. That's something we haven't really seen from them, is a long ball into Peter Lyons.
Yeah, well, I was expecting that from the start, but they haven't deployed that tactic really much at all.
Rossiter pops over the free. That's his fourth. One from play, 3 frees, and no time for any further action. So on the stroke of half-time, Sligo closed the gap down to 3 points. It's Cavan leading Sligo by 9 points to 6 at half-time. And really, that probably is a fair reflection on the opening 30 minutes, Paul.
Definitely, Cal. I think Cavan have been the better team overall in that first half. I think that last score for Sligo is very, very important. It keeps them within 3 points. They're still in the hunt, but a big half ahead of Sligo if they're going to actually turn this around.
What can they do a little bit better, Sligo, to try and get themselves back into it, Paul?
Very much under shot selection, Cal. I think they've been taking a lot of pot shots. I think there's a steady up, work the ball into a better scoring position. And again, Peter Lyons is the danger man in there. Is getting a good quality ball into him, and then running off him as well.
From a Cavan point of view, is it a case of just continuing as they have been, because they have been highly impressive so far?
Cavan, I wouldn't change anything. The way they're playing the better football. They're dictating the game. They own the ball at the moment, and the likes of McGovern there and Keith Fannin, like they're lording in that forward line, and Sligo are having real difficulty trying to stop the stem of scores coming from them two players, especially. Because
it can be sometimes when you have the wind, Paul, that you do kind of change your approach maybe, but Cavan probably should stick to what they're doing.
I would stick to what they're doing, definitely.
Keith Fannin with 5 points from play in the first half. Michael McGovern, as you referenced, Colin Riley as well. I think all of the Cavan points have come from play in that first half, but the 5 from Keith Fannin undoubtedly the highlight, and Sligo will look to keep tabs on him in the second period. But it is half-time, and Cavan, as your screen will tell you, are leading by 9 points to 6, and they'll have the aid of the breeze in the second half, though it's not quite as strong as it was at the start of this game at the St. Crohn's GA Club in County Roscommon in this Masters Challenge Cup final between Sligo and Cavan. So let's bring you some more analysis now at half-time. Let's join Angelina.
And just as we hear the announcement about the 50-50 tickets here, Cathal, your luck might be in if you buy it. We'll know the winner a little bit later on today. Not sure what the jackpot is, but if you're coming in, support St. Crohn's GA Club. Delighted to be joined by Liam Maloney here. Liam, I know you're recording everything for the paper very carefully. Listen, the last 10 minutes there, you just felt there was a bit of a gap opening up between Cavan and Sligo. Keith Fannin's having a massive impact in the game.
Yeah, I think he's got 5 out of their 9, and Cavan look very lively in attack, and they're getting their scores a lot easier. But in saying that, Sligo have taken some good frees from Ian Rossiter. Maybe they should have had a penalty there for Peter Lyons, and Johnny Martin has been exceptional for them. You can see why he's still an active player in the senior championship with St Mary's, and Ross Donovan as well. They've been the standouts, but Sligo have possibly contributed to the scoreline in that they've given the ball away and kicked some shots into the goalkeeper, which never helps no matter what grade.
Yeah, I mean, Ross Donovan did quell Keith Fannin, I thought, for a few minutes there, but it is kind of that fluidity. He's able to work his way back into it again. So that's going to be a difficult one for them in the second half.
It's not just Keith Fannin. A number of other forwards, like the full forward looks decent. Declan Beard, Michael McGovern just got a point there. They're 9th. So they have a number of options that Sligo will have to shut down. But as I say, get the ball into Peter Lyons. Ian Roster has converted some frees. If they cut down the mistakes, I suppose there's more of ifs and buts with the Sligo side than Cavan. Cavan look more assured at this stage, and obviously I think they deserve that 3-point lead.
What about the penalty call? It was very, very close. What did you think?
Well, of course, I would have said it should be a penalty, but I mean, yeah, if he had scored a goal after being given the advantage, so maybe it was more of like a Sligo call that he should have got the penalty, but he got the free and it was converted.
But look, all not lost, because that Ian Rossiter free just right to the death there as well, narrowing the gap again. So Sligo will just have to come out and throw everything at it.
Of course, and the same with Cavan. They look to the bench, bring on different options, and they'll have to make sure that Johnny Martin and Ross Sullivan have good second halves as well.
Listen, you mentioned some of the Cavan side there. I was even watching them in the warm-up. They just seem to have an air of professionalism around them as well. And I know we were told before it, the county board had sponsored jerseys for them and all that. So it is great to see that sort of hunger and passion for Masters football.
Of course, and I suppose if that extra little bit of support is there in terms of, as you say, extra gear, maybe facilities for training, different things, because these are players that we all would have cheered for 10, 5, 15 years ago. So why shouldn't we be cheering for them now and supporting them just the same?
Absolutely. Liam Maloney, thank you so much. We'll let you back to it. Cathal, we'll hand back to you for the moment.
Thanks very much, Angelina and Liam as well. So that's Liam Maloney of the Sligo Weekender providing his analysis of the half-time picture here at the St. Crohn's J Club in County Roscommon. Cavan leading Sligo by 9 points to 6 at half-time. And Paul Gallagher mentioning there, Liam mentioned about the support for Gaelic Masters from the different associations and different entities within the wider GA family, and it certainly has improved and increased in the last number of years, much to the help of and much to the improvement of Masters football.
Yeah, Masters have gone through a bit of a renaissance, as you could say, in the GA for the likes of Dr. McLaughlin, who was our spiritual leader from day one, and we're unlucky to lose him this year. He never gave up on Masters football from the start. Like, he was always a proactive supporter of it. And when John Pat Sheridan took up the mantle of bringing it back to its present guise, it's just gone from strength to strength. And county boards have got involved a bit more in supporting teams, be it with facilities, be it with helping with insurance costs, be it with jersey. So it's very, very, very good to see that support coming from county boards within each county.
Yeah, and there's quite a big crowd actually in St. Crohn's now at the moment, and we'll expect a good few more supporters to come in as well for the second game here between Mayo and Roscommon, which is coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we'll have that one for you live on the live stream as well. We'll be back with the second half of the Masters Challenge Cup final very shortly indeed, but at half time it's Cavan 9 points, Sligo 6 points.
takes a team, it takes discipline, it takes focus, targets, leadership. The difference is there's no final whistle with MFC.
Words like service, customer-centred focus, quality, garments. Why we do what we do, why we exist. That's the big one.
Now you're very welcome back to St. Crohn's J Club, almost set to go for the second half. The Masters Challenge Cup final. Cavan leading Sligo by 9 points to 6 after the opening half an hour. The rain is falling fairly heavily now actually, but it has dampened down that wind to the point that the wind isn't a factor at all now. And Cavan were set to play with the aid of it in the second half, but here they go on a first foray forward, ball inside to Declan Beard, the full forward, lovely dummy hop. Now can he find the finish? Oh, that's going to be a great score if it goes between the posts, and it does. I think that's possibly the score of the game so far. Declan Beard, we mentioned he looked very talented in the first half, was involved in a lot of the good Cavan play, Paul Gallagher, and that's a fine score.
Yeah, a fine score straight off the throw in. Like, no, it shows Cavan's intention going right from the start of the second half. They're not going to put their foot off the gas here.
Now there's a Sligo player down, and I think it could be the end of the afternoon for Pam Murphy, it looks like. Went straight down after that last little passage of play, and he's just struggling to get back up here. Pam Murphy, the Sligo defender, in the early stages of this second half. He's just trying to walk that one off, but he is moving quite gingerly. Brendan Tierney is making his way in there, so maybe Sligo are just going to make the change anyway and give Murphy a chance.
An underlying injury there. He's well strapped up on that calf as well. So.
And Pam Murphy is just making his way. You can just see there at the top of your picture off the field. And Brendan Tierney is in. Sligo retain possession from their kick out, but they trail by 4 points. Ross Donovan playing back there in the full back line, helping his team to emerge with possession, with Damien Kelly now getting it forward to Alan Bones. Here's John McGowan now. A couple of the Sligo subs combining, but they need to get the ball forward. Cavan are bringing a few players back just to sit in front of that full back line. Johnny Martin was surely fouled there. He had the advantage, and now they have the free. Shane Dunn will take this one for Sligo, but that wind has virtually died.
It's really died down.
Well, can Sligo take advantage of that? They almost had a goal at the end of the first half. You feel they'll need at least one to nudge in front of Cavan here. John McGowan has Ross Donovan for help. Donovan met by the hit from Thomas Leonard. Now it's with Trevor Sweeney. Colin Nary has Brian O'Murphy on this right-hand side. Murphy eventually gets a hold of it. He's got Shane Dunn, just held up by the challenge. Advantage is there for Sligo, but they still play. Colin Nary, well, I think he was looking for the free there, wasn't he?
I think so, yes.
He just drove the left boot through that one. and Sligo have the free, but well, Ian Rossiter's come out to take it. I think it's probably just on the very edge of the distance here. Rossiter might just look for a short option because, yeah, he's going to leave this one to Darren Cairns, the Sligo goalkeeper. Just inside that 45-metre line. But the breeze now a draft, really, into the face of Darren Cairns. It's like we're going to make a change at the back too. We could just hear the management team dishing out some instructions. Darren Cairns kicks that one fairly well. Sligo unable to keep it on the field. Carl O'Neill was rising there, and it's a Sligo wide at the start of the second half, and Cavan still lead by 4.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of goalkeepers coming taking free kicks like that there, but if he's going to come up, he should be putting over the bar, like, you know, if he is the place kicker. So I think it was a good opportunity gone a begging for Sligo there.
Kick out now for Cavan. The Ulstermen still well on top. Sligo have brought Ross Donovan out to centre back, it looks like, and they've just rejigged things in their defensive line. Looks like Colin Nari's been told to make his way back to full back.
Well, I think that's Pat Murphy's day done.
Yeah, he's made his way towards the sideline here, and he has the boot off as well, Pat Murphy, the Sligo defender. So it looks like his afternoon is over, as Paul says. Brian O'Murphy and Shane Dunn combining. Here's a long ball inside. Well, Peter Lyons was in space, wasn't he? Owen Lyons might get a second chance here. Well, the Cavan goalkeeper, Patch Corrigan, has retrieved the situation there.
Huge
Had he dropped that one.
Sligo.
Again, that's the long ball into Peter Lyons, though, which we haven't seen too often. Here's Ian Rossiter. Can Sligo come away with a point at the end of it? John McGowan in space will surely get a shot away here. Goes past the challenge. McGowan now past another challenge, then bottled up and just maybe took a little bit too much out of it, and Sligo cough up the possession.
Yeah, good defending by Cavan there. They bottled them up nicely and just turned them over.
Wonderful defending from Cavan, and that's largely why they lead by 4 points. The ball in the arms of Anthony Brady. Brian O'Murphy had committed the foul before he won the ball back. And Cavan have the free with Brady. Plays it inside to Shawnee Farrelly. Cavan will look to keep the scoreboard ticking. Thomas Leonard drives it into that full forward line. Beard is in there, but Sligo have the +1 at the back. Alan Bones was the free man, combining with Colin Nari. And now out to Nari again. Declan Cawley was offering himself as an option, but now Ross Donovan. They'd love to get Ross Donovan into the game a little bit more, Sligo. That's why they've brought him to centre back. Here's Peter Lyons in lots of space. Lyons taking on the shot from a long way out. Has he found the target? The answer is no.
Another wide for Sligo. Like, they're stacking them up now.
Second wide of the second half already. And really they need to be getting those chances, getting those opportunities, Sligo. 6 minutes gone now in the second half, and Cavan have extended their half-time lead. They led by 9 points to 6 at the break. They now lead by 10 to 6. Kick out is again a very good one. Mick Doherty picked out by Patch Corrigan. Ball now with Dahi Neri. Brian O'Murphy working hard in the middle, but Cavan again escaping out with possession, retaining it well. Now, can they engineer an opportunity? Thomas Leonard, Sligo flooded 13 players behind the ball here on this occasion. Shawnee Farrelly back outside to Mick Doherty. Doherty trying to keep that one in. I think he's just about managed it.
Yeah.
And this suits Cavan, doesn't it? Just to keep the ball. They lead by 4.
Down, yeah, just keeping possession. Sligo need to come out and put some press on the ball. They just can't sit in there. 4 points down.
Thomas Leonard with Kevin Donoghue for support. And now Cavan inside that 45-metre line. Leonard has continued his run. Damien Kelly trying to get the challenge in. That one, though, is skied out to the left and wide. Good build-up play from Cavan, but
yeah,
no end product.
Good patient build-up play, but quite disappointed with Sligo. Just hanging off them, not going man-to-man and pressing the issue.
So Darren Cairns with the kick out. Goes short. Colin Neri picked up a good position, then his hand pass forward is picked up by Johnny Martin. Martin very influential for Sligo in the first 30 minutes. Trevor Sweeney picked up a booking in that first half. He's continued his run here to offer assistance to John McGowan. Shane Dunn has Ross Donovan running off his shoulder, but Dunn continues forward. Carl O'Neill. Sligo could do it getting him into the game as well. O'Neill is still going. Manages to shovel it out in time to Damien Kelly, but O'Neill had been fouled.
Yes.
It's like we're hanging in there.
Yep.
Still only 4 in it. This is a good chance to close it down to 3.
They're hanging on the coattails, as they say.
You just wonder, if there's a goal in this match, it could be decisive either way, because if Cavan get it, that'll push them, you would feel, into an unassailable lead. But if Sligo were to get it at the other end, it might just give them some momentum.
I can't see Sligo do it on points alone. I think they need a goal to get really a foothold in this match.
This is going to be taken by Ian Rossiter again. 4 points in the first half, 3 of them from frees. Rossiter from the St. John's Club pops that one over the bar. So Sligo back to within 3. A 5th point of the afternoon for Ian Rossiter.
I'd like to see Sligo actually press on the Cavan kick out here. They're letting the kick outs away too easily, in my opinion. So if they just pushed on a bit, put more press on them and try and turn them over on the kick outs.
Kick out to be taken by the Cavan goalkeeper, Patch Corrigan. Again, tries to pick out a Cavan player, but Shane Dunn has got it, and Ian Rossiter's in space inside. It'll eventually find its way to Rossiter. Can Sligo make it count now? Declan Cawley, ball across. There's a goal on here. Carl O'Neill for Sligo. Are they going to finish it? Oh, they just unable to find a way through. It's still there. Nicholson back outside to Rossiter. They need a score from this play. Johnny Martin will look to provide it, and he's got it for Sligo. Is that the boost they need? Well, it could so easily have been a goal, but it's a point.
Again, Sligo did push up on the kick out, and they got the turnover and they got a score from it. So same again, I say, for Sligo, go at the kick out and try and win that possession from
Yeah, Shane Dunn did well, and then he just lost his footing, didn't he, at the crucial moment. But correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but that feels like the first kick out maybe that Sligo have won.
Yes.
From a Cavan point of view. Cavan have been so strong in their own restart.
Maybe Con's listening to us, I don't know.
Well, Sligo back to within 2 points, maybe some momentum now, but normal order restored here for Cavan. They've retained the ball from their kick out this time. Found the run of Anthony Brady. Then the pressure being applied by Sligo illegally. Cavan keeping the ball now in the middle. They'd love a score just to stem that little bit of momentum that Sligo have picked up, with 2 points on the bounce. Ball inside, finds the run of Kieran Fox. Aaron Nicholson's back into the fray for Sligo. Now Colm Riley, 1 point in the first half. Looks like a really skillful footballer. Colm Riley taking it forward now. Palms that one inside. Sligo trying to get bodies in around the ball, but Cavan attacking here with real purpose. Riley again. Ross Donovan is there. Sligo certainly have more energy about them, but Cavan have worked this one out well. Into space. Aaron Nicholson.
Yes, I've got plenty of bodies back. Hard to break through there, Cahill.
Yeah, they've got, 13 players. They've got Rossiter and they've got Peter Lyons, Sligo in the full forward line. Everyone else is behind the ball. Anthony Brady is going to take on the shot here. He's not particularly happy with himself. And Sligo will be pleased with that period of possession that Cavan had, because they forced him into a shot from a fairly difficult position.
Sligo coming back into the game, which is good to see. It's all to play for.
Cavan bringing in a couple of players. Shane Mulligan and Barry McGovern coming in. Ross Donovan is still picking up Keith Fannin, who got those 5 points from playing the first half and has quelled his influence.
Yeah, he shackled them quite well in the last 5-10 minutes.
Cavan players to make way right now. Shoney Farrelly and Mick Doherty. Doherty kicked a great point in the first half. Long kick out from Darren Cairns, out on top of Brian O'Murphy, and Sligo have got runners off the shoulder here. There's a goal on for Sligo. It's 4-on-2. Johnny Martin has Declan Cawley to his right hand side. Martin! And then Peter Lyons was in there. I think it was going off target in any case. Then I think Lyons has fouled the goalkeeper as he went after that one.
What a rush of blood. Like, the chance was there just to lay it off back of the net, and he went for goal far too far out, and just again a rush of blood.
It was 4-on-2, wasn't it? They've got 4 players racing towards goal. Johnny Martin took it on, had the momentum behind him, but now Cavan looking to go down the other end. The point for Cavan here would really hurt Sligo, you feel. Good hand in from Colin Nari. Alan Bones, Cavan felt, picked it off the ground. That looked off the ground, and I think that is the right call. Damien Kelly for Sligo, and that could be a key moment. A goal at the other end potentially for Sligo. And now it looks like a Cavan point from a free.
Giving away a potential score there from picking the ball off the ground, pretty much unforgivable. But huge moment there for Sligo. They've just got a goal from that opportunity there. It would change the whole complexion of the game.
Now the chance for Cavan. This will be a big point, you feel. Keith Fannin has kicked it, and Keith Fannin has put it over the bar. His 6th point, first from a free, and that's a big score.
Yeah, it was a gift given away by Sligo there. Just one that they're in the ascendancy there.
Midway point almost now of the second half, and Cavan lead by 3. 11 points to 8, having led by 3 at the break. Sligo brought in Kieran Kilgannon, who lined out a corner forward, but now he's back at corner back. Damien Kelly is making way. Long kick out again from Darren Cairns, out on top of Brian Oak Murphy. This time Cavan win the break. I think Sligo have got in there legally this time. That looks like it could be a Sligo free. Oh, it's a Cavan free.
Yeah, he overruled himself, yeah. We're scratching our heads here, just wondering where that was coming from.
There's certainly a bit more about Sligo now, isn't there?
Yeah, whatever they said at half-time's working, Cal.
Yeah, Declan Cawley has picked it up. Carl O'Neill's in front of him. Cawley instead opts for Johnny Martin. Cavan's turn now to flood bodies back in behind the ball.
Just to keep possession and work the score here, like for Sligo, not to give it away.
Picked up by Alan Bones of Turlestrane. Ross Donovan is in front of him. Donovan gets a hold of it now. Gets it back outside to Kieran Kilgannon. Kilgannon will gather it at the second time of asking. And now with Johnny Martin. Peter Lyons. Might Lyons be interested in a shot? Plays it inside to Carl O'Neill instead. O'Neill gets around the challenge. Martin is in for Sligo. Oh, it's a brilliant save. Wonderful stop from Patch Corrigan. It's still there for Sligo. They need to get a score from this. Declan Cawley will try to provide it with a point. I think he likes that one. And Sligo do get the point, but we've got a right game on our hands now. It's a 2-point match.
We have that. Excellent save by the keeper there. Done very well, Corrigan. But again, Sligo got the score from the rebound, which was important.
So 11 points to 9 with 15 minutes left to play. Sligo playing much better now in this second half.
Cavan got a man down.
And it's going to be the water break, I think, Paul. So it was 3 points the gap at half-time for Cavan. Their lead was 9-6, and now it's 11 points to 9. And Sligo, you feel, have that little bit of a momentum behind them.
Well, I would give that third quarter to Sligo. I think they came out second half with a bit more intent as well. And they've had a few goal opportunities, which honestly they have to take one or two of them to get them really a foothold in the game.
Yeah, you just wonder, will they get another one? Johnny Martin with a couple there for Sligo. Brilliant save, to be fair to Patch Corrigan. Potentially a match-winning save.
Yeah. I think Sligo will get a couple more chances, to be honest, Cal, especially at the Masters level. The chances that as the game progresses, legs get tired, fitness levels and everything else, there will be opportunities. But again, I think Cavan need to regroup and start doing what they were doing in the second half again.
Well, you can just see the body language of the Sligo players is much better now than it was at half-time. Cavan maybe coming under a little bit of pressure, but they still have such quality footballers within their ranks. Keith Fannin has got 6 points, 5 of them from play in the first half. And they do have the aid of that breeze as well. That's not quite as strong as it was, but nonetheless it is helping Cavan when they do kick for their points from a little bit further out than Sligo at the other end. We'll restart with a Cavan kick out. Con O'Mara just dishing out instructions to the Sligo players.
I'm sure he wishes he was out there as well, Cahill.
Yeah, Con, a noted player over many years with Sligo, with Calera, Strandhill and Turlestrane at club level as well. Cavan making their way back out. What do Cavan need to do a little bit better now, Paul, do you feel, just to see this result out?
They just have to keep doing it in the second half, keeping the ball retention and taking their scores when they're on. I think they might in the second half come out in the second half thinking job done, but it's not. And Sligo are still there. They cannot shake Sligo, and that's a testament to Sligo, to be honest. Not playing the best of football, but still in the game.
Here's the kick out from Cavan. It's a good one as well. Colm Riley had made the run forward. He's been picked up by Kieran Kilgannon. Lovely ball inside from Riley. Brilliant build-up play and lovely palm off here to the run of Michael McGovern. McGovern is one of the best players on the park, and that is exactly why. What a great score from Cavan, all the way from their own kick out. and a much needed point for them as well. They lead by 12 points tonight.
No, excellent move there by Cavan. Again, back to what they're doing in the first half, like playing the ball quickly. McGovern's just elusive again, cutting inside and knocking over the bar.
Darren Cairns. He's trying to hit Brian O'Murphy with every single kick out now, and Sligo have got some joy from it this time. The break doesn't quite fall in their direction. Kieran Fox was there to pick it up for Cavan. Shane Dunn puts in the challenge on Shane Mulligan, but Cavan playing with a bit more pep in their step now. Inside that 45-metre line, Thomas Leonard takes the return from Anthony Brady, getting involved again now. Shane Mulligan, Barry McGovern in there as well. Down into that corner. Sligo have done well though. Kevin Gallagher wins it back now. Can they go on the counter? Well, they're so far down the field. It's all the way back to the goalkeeper, Darren Cairns, switching it out to Carl O'Neill. He has some support in front of him. Now here comes Carl O'Neill. There's 2 Sligo forwards. There's 3 defenders back there. Peter Lyons is there now. Ian Rossiter is on his own inside. Nice ball inside from Lyons. Will Rossiter go with the challenge here? Instead opts to come back outside. Lyons thinking about the shot, takes it on at the second time of asking. Brilliant score from Sligo, and Peter Lyons with his 3rd of the match. Wonderful point, and it's back to a 2-point game.
Yeah, that's the quickest we've seen Sligo actually move the ball up the field all day. Long kick there from the keeper, Corrigan, straight or from Cairns, and then to Peter Lyons again, himself and Rossiter doing what they do best.
12 points to 10 in favour of Cavan in the Challenge Cup final. And the kick out now coming from Patch Corrigan. Don't forget Mayo and Roscommon in the next game coming up at 4 o'clock from St. Crone's here in Roscommon. That's in the plate final. And we'll catch that one live on the stream here with us as well. Sligo have given away a free. Declan Cawley fouling Thomas Leonard. Now the free with Shane Mulligan. Aaron Nicholson is coming in for Sligo to try and get the challenge in. Cavan keeping a hold of it, and if they can get back to that, just keeping a hold of the ball like they did for so much of the first half, you feel that they can see this result out. But Sligo just applying a bit more pressure now. You said that they needed to push out, Paul, and they've started to do that.
They need to do that. Just time's running out for them. They need to keep going. 12 minutes to go.
Leonard again, looking for the pass inside, finds it. Sligo now just defending that 45-metre line. Cavan lose the footing, but now they've got space. Can they get the score? They can. It's kicked by Anthony Brady.
Again, Mike McGovern winning the ball inside there on the ground, and a nice hand pass out to Anthony Brady for an excellent score.
That's 5 of the 6 starting Cavan forwards now on the score sheet. Anthony Brady with his first of the game, and Cavan just pad that lead out again to 3. 13 points to 10 with just over 11 minutes of normal time left to play. But Sligo hanging in there. Cairns goes to the far side of the field this time. Where will the break spill? It's picked up by Johnny Martin, who's got it now. Cavan looking a bit open at the back. Rossiter is the Sligo man on the edge of the square. Johnny Martin is still carrying it forward and pass inside. Now another goal chance. Kevin Gallagher for Sligo. It's another brilliant save from Patch Corrigan. Well, it's another goal chance for Sligo. That doesn't quite come off. They've got points from their last couple of attacks when they were prevented a goal, but will they get it here? The answer is no. It's going to be a free out.
Another huge goal opportunity going to begging for Sligo. They're going to be really reeling us at the end of the game, I'm sure.
Great work from Johnny Martin in the build-up to pass it into Kevin Gallagher. But what about the save from Patch Corrigan?
He's earned his crust today, Cal, that's for sure.
The Cavan goalkeeper doing well as the rain starts to fall once more at St. Crone's. Shane Mulligan is the player down here for Cavan. Looks like he's taken a knock to the head. Well, Sligo, they have created so many goal chances.
And the rain's still coming down quite heavily out there, Carl. Like, the conditions are difficult, but again, the standard of football has been excellent so far.
It has been a really good game, really enjoyable. Paddy Gormley's in for Sligo here, wearing number 20. Mulligan still down, receiving some attention here. Now he's back up on his feet and able to continue. It will be a Cavan free when we resume. Sligo trying to squeeze up on it.
Oh, definitely have to squeeze this here.
Peter Lyons was the furthest forward. They made use of Patch Corrigan there as an outfield player, Cavan, just to get the ball away from that central area. And now Cavan trying to escape on that far side. Carl O'Neill applying the pressure, but it's Shane McInerney now bringing it out for Cavan. Brian O'Murphy trotting across to try and put a challenge in. Cavan keeping the ball well up towards the Sligo 45. Keith Fannin. Nice ball down into the corner, looking for the run of Declan Beard, but it's run out. And Sligo seem to have got to grips with the danger men. Colin Neri has gone back there on Declan Beard. Ross Donovan picking up Keith Fannin.
Now they've tightened up very much so in the second half, but they really had to.
Well, Cavan were superb in the opening 30 minutes. Darren Cairns with the kick out. Shane Dunn just under a little bit of pressure to get that one, but Sligo have picked it up through Kieran Kilgannon. Then Dunn using all his experience there to win the free. I think he brought Keith Fannin down with him.
Yes, talk about leaving the hand then. Maybe
Lots of experience on show,
yes.
Paul, at this level.
Bit of a cuteness, as they call it.
Ball down into the corner for Sligo. Ian Rossiter has picked that one up. Ross Donovan has continued his run. Peter Lyons is out there as well. It's a very difficult shooting angle here. Lyons assesses his options, gets it off to Shane Dunn. Lyons again, coming back maybe onto that left boot this time. Will it have the required distance? It doesn't look like it will. It spills to Declan Cawley inside the penalty area. Cawley, oh, that's hit the side netting. And it's gone out for a 45. Yeah. So the umpire spotted a little bit of a flick. It was an ambitious effort, wasn't it? It was a tight angle.
But again, another goal opportunity. That's 5, I make it.
Yeah, you could well be right there, Paul. They've certainly had a few, and maybe even could have had a penalty at the end of the first half. But it is a 45 at the end of it all. But as you say, Paul, the clock coming against Sligo now. 8 minutes left to play. Darren Cairns has come forward to take this 45. Had an opportunity from a little bit closer in earlier on. Didn't quite find the target. Now Darren Cairns. Sligo could do with the score. Oh, he struck this one well, Darren Cairns. Will it have the required accuracy? The answer is no.
Just curled away at the last moment.
Well, Sligo have had the chances, haven't they?
They have.
3 wides in the second half.
But again, with 7 minutes to go, only a kick of the ball in the game, it just shows it's a level pegged game. Like, they're well matched in all fairness, and that's good for any final to be like kick of the ball with only like 7 or 8 minutes left.
Yeah, it's been a really, really good game.
Still anybody's.
Cavan trying to retain the ball from their own kick out again, and they've done it. Kieran Fox combining with Patch Corrigan, the Cavan goalkeeper, arguably the player of the match if Cavan go on to win it, given those saves, but they've coughed up possession, and that's a great ball in from Carl O'Neill. It's with Peter Lyons. Is this the chance for Sligo? It's Gormley for the goal, and Sligo finally get their goal. Paddy Gormley, the substitute, brings us level at St. Crone's.
As to say, game on.
Well, Sligo turning over the ball. Carl O'Neill's pass inside was crucial.
No more than what Sligo deserved. Like, they've been knocking the door for a goal all game, and they've taken one of the opportunities, which is fantastic. So, all to play for.
Now we've got a real game on our hands. Let's see what the Cavan response is going to be. 6 minutes left to play. Sligo level. Cavan 13 points. Sligo a goal in 10. The Eights County pretty dominant in this second half after an under-par opening half performance. Kevin Gallagher has won it back for Sligo as well. Things just not going Cavan's way. And Sligo in this Challenge Cup final coming alive at the crucial time. All the while, Mayo and Roscommon players and supporters arriving for the second match, which throws in at 4 o'clock. But right now, Sligo looking to get their hands on some silverware here. You wouldn't bet against them now at this stage. They've played really well in this second half. Colin Neri.
No, they got the bit between their teeth at the moment, so again, as you said, it's all to play for.
Cavan, though, still right in there. They've played so well in this match. Ross Donovan has come more into it now for Sligo in that more advanced role in the second period, bringing it back outside to Declan Cawley, when instead opts for Carl O'Neill. O'Neill is turning provider. Peter Lyons has hit the deck off the ball inside. He's looking for a free. Instead, Shane Dunn carrying it forward. Ian Rossiter has got a hold of it now for Sligo. Can he wrestle away from the challenge, looking for the free? Not going to get it. Colin Nari. Ball inside towards Kieran Kilgannon. Races past one challenge, gets it away in time. Declan Cawley kicked a nice point earlier on. Brian O'Murphy has made a difference. Here he is now in possession. Cavan have got 14 players inside their own 45 to repel the Sligo attack. Sligo, remembered, into a draft of a breeze here. Colin Nari bringing it forward to Johnny Martin again, the St. Mary's man, so impressive. Carl O'Neill thought about taking on the shot, instead tries to ride the challenge. Forced back out around.
This is good from Sligo. They're not pushing the issue. They're keeping the ball, just working to score. Every score at this moment in time is crucial.
Yeah, just over the 4 minutes left to play, and it's all square. Kieran Kilgannon down again to Carl O'Neill, Ross Donovan. Cavan, to be fair, defending this one well. Donovan almost losing it, but Sligo retain possession. Cavan have really blocked up that central channel. Johnny Martin back outside to Colin Nary. Nary, ball inside as a loose one. He was looking for the run of Declan Cawley, but Sligo, well, Johnny Martin had got a hand on the ball, but had gone through the player as well. Martin has gone down with a little bit of a knock as well. Cavan will be delighted with that.
Yeah, I think Sligo held the ball for at least, 90 seconds there,
yep.
maybe 2 minutes, and still didn't get the score. And just, again, Sligo had patience, and in the end, they lacked the patience just to find the right pass, and the turnover completed the defending by Cavan.
You can just see Carl O'Neill wearing number 3 for Sligo there, making his way across your picture. He's picked up a knock and his afternoon is over. He made a difference for Sligo, played that ball in for the goal.
Excellent, yeah.
The Kildare Strandhill man.
It's a good battle inside at the moment between Peter Lyons and Shane Mulligan. And Shane's getting quite personal with Lyons a couple of times there, so interesting to note that.
Is there a score in Cavan to try and win this game? A point at this stage might even win it for either team, with 3 minutes left to go of normal time. Cavan have the ball in the middle. Just lost their way in this match after a really good opening half. That's a nice ball inside, though. Declan Cawley is there for Sligo, trying to apply the pressure, and I think he's done enough to win the line ball for Sligo. Just shepherded that one out off the field of play. Plays it inside, looking for Shane Dunn, met by the challenge of the centre forward, Shawnee Farrelly. Oh, Dunn's ball forward, asking a little bit much of Brian O'Murphy. Oh, as he touched that one on the ground, he has. Just a wry smile from him, and that might be costly for Sligo. Just a little bit careless.
Very careless with the ball there, especially at this moment in the game. Next, as you said, next score could win this.
Yeah, we're 2 minutes, a little bit more than 2 minutes left to play. Is there a winner in it for either team? Well, Sligo have left 4 forwards forward here, and everybody else is back behind the ball. Can Cavan work it maybe to Keith Fannin, who has 6 points already? Plenty of potential shooters here if they can get it into a good area. Ross Donovan is just organising the Sligo defence back there. Here comes the Cavan free. They go short. Back now to Mick Doherty, back on the field, had a brief period off the field as well. Ball goes forward now for Cavan. Can they find a winner? Sligo with plenty of black jerseys behind the ball. It comes outside to Keith Fannin. Cavan having to be patient. Ball inside, Colin Nary stands the challenge in front of Declan Beard. Beard gets it away in time. Keith Fannin now. Oh, Fannin's taking this one on. It's a decent effort, but just a little bit off target. Ambitious from there.
Very ambitious, especially a minute to go. Like, no, you should be just keeping the ball and working to a scoreable position there. I think it was a bit of a rush of blood to the head there.
Well, into the final minute of normal time, and this is a grandstand finish, a really interesting finish in prospect. What's been a brilliant game between these two sides. The kick out looking for Brian O'Murphy. He's made a real difference for Sligo around the middle. Gets it back to Kevin Gallagher. Oh, Martin touches it back to Gallagher again, and now Sligo with some momentum behind them again. Is there a winner in it for the Eights County? Kevin Gallagher. Brilliant block down from Anthony Brady, but well, Kieran Kilgannon will get a second bite of the cherry. Gets it up now, needs to get it away, and does, inside to Carl Hannon. Just unable to control it, and it's a Cavan free.
Oh, huge turnover there.
Well, just when Sligo needed the composure. Damien Kelly's coming back in for Sligo.
Slippy ball, Cahill.
Yeah. This has been a cracking match. Both teams have really given it their all.
Are we talking extra time here?
Yeah, potentially.
I don't think John Pat Sheridan wants to hear extra time, but it's a possibility.
I don't think any of the players maybe don't want extra time either. But it might be the way we're heading. Cavan. Can they engineer one final opportunity into added time now at the end of this second half? Cavan 13 points, Sligo a goal and 10. Cavan led by 3 at half time. Remember, Keith Fannin, he's got 6 points already. Can he find another one? It might be a match winner. Keith Fannin punches the air with delight, and Cavan move in front again. What a brilliant score from Keith Fannin, the wing forward, his 7th of the match.
Huge score.
that could well be that.
Inspirational score for Cavan there, but this kick-out retention for Sligo, this is going to make or break their
Well,
final.
the goal from Sligo coming from Paddy Gormley to draw them level. They had a couple of chances to move in front as well with lots of good possession. Is there one last chance for Sligo to level things up again? Ross Donovan is fouled. There might be one last chance. Damien Kelly. Shane Dunn. Sligo trail by a point after such a brilliant second half display. They need to find another score. That's a rather loose hand pass, but Sligo have got it again. Somehow Shane Dunn has got it again. It's found its way now to Kieran Kilgannon. Sligo need to be composed here. Kilgannon drives it in to no one in particular. I think he was looking for the run of Ian Rossiter, and that might be that.
No, they rushed that opportunity there, Carl. Like there's a wee bit of composure, maybe.
No surprise to see Patch Corrigan taking all his time here with this kick out, and with 90 seconds gone past the 60, it might well be over. Sligo will squeeze right up here, you feel?
Yeah, I think Sligo have to win this kick out to keep the game going.
Well, give Cavan huge credit. They were under the cosh for so much of this second half, but they're now on the brink of the Challenge Cup title. That kick out is a good one. Looking for Anthony Brady. Then Kieran Kilgannon, well, he looked like he was favoured to win that one. Lovely pickup from Colin Riley. Riley has got past the challenge here. Another point would definitely seal it for Cavan. They might just get a goal even here. It's Declan Beard, the full forward. That is short. The referee is looking at his watch, but play continues. We might have one final twist. Kevin Gallagher for Sligo going down the other end now. What a blockbuster finish to this Challenge Cup final at St. Crone's in County Roscommon. The Sligo talisman, Johnny Martin, is on the run. Martin plays it forward to Aaron Nicholson. Sligo need to keep their heads here now. Back outside it comes. Peter Lyons, the danger man, to level it up. Lyons is looking after it anxiously, and it's been waved wide. Sligo think that was over. Well, it's gone wide. Oh, well, Sligo had the chance.
From this angle, I thought it went wide as well, to be honest. But
I think
huge opportunity there to level the match in the last seconds.
Oh, they worked it forward brilliantly, Sligo.
Yeah.
But, well, it's been the story of the game, really, hasn't it? Sligo just not efficient enough in front of goal. They've had several goal chances.
Yeah, Dara Cox was coming through there like a freight train. Like it was all opening up for them.
The referee, Ray McBrien, is going to allow this kick out happen. So we're still playing 3.5 minutes into added time now. Is there one more chance for Sligo? There might just be. Kieran Kilgannon has been fouled, and
they have the free.
You might just. Cavan will surely get everybody behind the ball here now, because this is surely the last attack. Kevin Gallagher has been to the fore for Sligo. You can just see the Cavan backroom team telling everyone to get back. Johnny Martin is met by the challenge, and he's touched it on the ground. Thomas Leonard putting in the challenge, and there's the full-time whistle, and Cavan have done it. Cavan have won a brilliant Challenge Cup final by a single point. They've beaten Sligo by 14 points to 110 in an absolutely outstanding match. Brilliant game of football, and Cavan, with Keith Fannin kicking 7 points, 6 of them from play, and the last of them the most priceless. And Cavan take the silverware at St. Crone's here in Roscommon. Sligo roaring back into it in the second half, but Paul Gallagher, Cavan winning it by a point in the end.
Yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic advertisement for Masters football out there today, Cal. I think over the course of the game, Cavan were the slightly better quality team, but Sligo will rule the misses they had. If they'd taken a couple more of those goal opportunities, who knows, it could be a different scoreline at the end.
In a strange sort of way, it was certainly, in terms of a cliche, game of two halves, wasn't it, Paul? Because Cavan, playing into what it was a fairly fresh breeze in the first half, were utterly dominant in the first half.
Yeah, the far better team in the first half, but fair dues to Sligo. They kept themselves in it right to the end. But again, at the end of the day, I think a little bit of quality on the Cavan side was the difference.
Keith Fannin, undoubtedly the player of the match, 7 points, 6 from play.
Keith Fannin had a fantastic game, as did Michael McGovern. I think they were really impressive in there, and Patch Corrigan, he really kept them in the game. I think he'll be getting a few free pints tonight from the lads for sure for the match winning saves. We've got to pick a man of the match as well. So,
well, who would on the Cavan side? Sligo had plenty of good performers as well. Johnny Martin, very impressive. Peter Lyons up front, Ian Rossiter as well. But for you, the man of the match?
I have to go Keith Fannin, I think. I think over the course of the game, at the end as well, when the scores mattered, he stood up and he was counted there.
Yeah, at a time when both teams needed composure, he showed it, and he got the decisive score to win the game by a point for Cavan. So they are the Challenge Cup champions for the Masters Football for 2023. They've beaten Sligo. There's confirmation of the full-time score. Cavan 14 points, Sligo a goal and 10. We'll have the presentation very shortly indeed, and we'll have the second game of the afternoon between Mayo and Roscommon in the plate final coming up for you at 4 o'clock this afternoon. But what a great advertisement in an overall sense that was, Paul, for Masters Football.
Yeah, it was, as I said, like two evenly matched teams at the end of it. That's the beauty of these finals at the moment, with the different tiers. Everybody's well matched, and there's only a kick of the ball in the game. That's testament of the level that the two teams are at. So really, really good advertisement for Masters Football out today. And I think a bit of pressure on Mayo and Roscommon who are coming at 4 o'clock to live up to this game.
Yeah, we really enjoyed that first game. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Hope you enjoyed watching at home as well. We have some reaction to bring you now very shortly as well from the Cavan camp, and we can join Angelina.
And we're here with Michael McGovern. Michael, you said to me coming across the pitch, you didn't make things too easy on yourselves.
We never do. We never seem to make it easy. We were ahead there and we let them back into the game. But look, Sligo was a good team and they fought right to the end, and we're just delighted to get the win there. Just get over the line. It was great just to win,
A full-blooded second half. I mean, a great advertisement for Masters Football. It mightn't have been easy on yourselves, but you seem to be kind of very much in control at half time. But Sligo really threw everything at it in the second half.
They did. They come out all guns blazing in the second half, as we knew they would. For the first 10 minutes especially, they threw everything at us right from the start. So they did, and that's my little girl, Ciara. And
you'll be joining us on TV.
do you want to come in, Ciara? And the true everything was right at the start, and made life really difficult for us, particularly the first 10 minutes in the second half there. But our lads battled hard, and our defence was solid again, and patching goals again today. Great saves again today, and I think he was man of the match in the semi-final. He's probably man of the match again today. He was brilliant, I thought, today again. But like the Antrim game, probably semi-final, we didn't make it easy for ourselves. We kept letting teams back into it, but look, we battled right on to the end, and we got the result in the end. We're just delighted to get over the line now, so we are.
How important is it? I mean, as I said, it's a great advertisement for Masters Football for people watching at home, here at St. Crohn's, but how important was it to Cavan to win that?
Yeah, it's great. Look, it's great to be still playing. You're playing a game at your own level, you're playing with lads your own age. It's completely different than playing senior football at your club, you have to run after a 20-year-old or something. You're playing with lads your own age, and it's fast-paced there again, there's no let-up at all, and it's just a privilege and an honour to be playing with your county and playing against past All-Ireland winners and past All-Stars and stuff like that. It really is. It's great for the kids and all our families and everyone, and for all our clubs and everyone involved. It really is. It's great. It's a real privilege. It's a real honour.
I was laughing at Keith Fannin. I was going to bring him over with you as well, but he was making a beeline for the dressing room. I said he's going very quickly. He's doing what, tell us?
He's going off to play a game in his club now with Drumgoon now later on in a intermediate championship round 4 game. Keith's a tough boy. Keith's not non-stop. He keeps going the whole time. He could have a match tomorrow and play a game today. He could play 7 games a week, that lad. He's just in great shape. He's a flyer, Keith. He's great to have around.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, that's some going. Listen, Michael, I know they're calling for the two teams. I'll let you go. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Take care. Michael McGovern there, and Ciara making a special appearance as well. And what's your name? And Paddy as well. So Paddy and Ciara are very important parts of it today. Cahill, we'll get some more of reaction in just a couple of minutes. I know the teams are going over for the presentation, so we'll hand it back to you for the moment.
Just making the way over for the presentation. We'll have some reaction from the Sligo side of things as well in just a second, and we can go back to Angelina now because she has Con O'Mara.
Sorry, Cahill, I didn't realise Con was waiting there. Listen, I know, Con, you'll be disappointed with that. I mean, talk about a second half performance. You really threw the kitchen sink at it.
They did, yeah. We left ourselves with a bit to do, but we created chances, and their goalie was superb. He made one brilliant save from Kevin Gallagher there, right down at his feet. We got the goal that put us in a great position, but we just couldn't close it out. Now we're not overly happy with the last score. The linesman on the far side gave it. The umpire was under the post, would have brought us to extra time. I don't think anyone would have complained about that with the comeback that was there. But in fairness to Cavan, they played some brilliant football. They took great scores in the first half. We took them in the second half, and unfortunately we were just shy. It's tough. It's a tough one, but there'll be nobody crying tomorrow about it either. That's the Masters. You give it your go, and you're disappointed in the direct aftermath. But it's not do or die like it would have been at other levels.
As you said there, that second half performance, you know, Cavan, while they weren't cruising on the scoreboard, they were in control of that game at half time. The lads, like, what did you have to say to them at half time? Or I suppose at this level, they know what they have to do then.
Yeah, they know what they have to do. Darren Kearns there in goals as our captain, he would have said a few words, and the boys knew themselves. The work rate just wasn't good enough, and we had a couple of switches that worked and quietened the lads who were shooting the lights out in the first half. But still, the man that was shooting the lights out in the first half, at number 12, he got the score that put them into the lead as well. He was the one guy you didn't want to see the ball in hand. But in fairness to Cavan, they brought on subs and gave them a bit of energy. I thought coming up to the water break in the second half, we had all the momentum. It just sucked a little bit. They got the next score was important, but that's the way it goes.
I mean, look, we spoke, and I know it's difficult in the aftermath of it, about it being an advertisement for Masters football. That was today. Anyone who was tuned in on the stream, you know, even as neutrals watching that, it was full-blooded football, and that's what we want to see more of.
Oh, absolutely. And some of the scores were top drawer, you know. If you forgot about the age of the guy kicking at you, be saying that's a super score on both sides. And even the ball that Carl O'Neill delivered into Peter Lyons, ball across to Paddy Gormley, and a great finish inside. Like, I'd watch replays of that. You know, it'd be nicer if you were watching the replay after lifting the trophy, but trophies are trophies. It's still great for all these guys. You can see how much it meant to Cavan. You know how gutted our lads are, even though it's not, you know, it's the fourth competition really. But when you get to a final, it's great to get out and play, and you still want to win.
Con, listen, thanks so much for coming over to us. Hard luck. Cahill, we'll go back to you for the moment.
Thank you very much, Angelina. So we're just getting pictures there of the presentation, which is taking place on the far side of the field. Cavan 14 points to 110 winners over Sligo in the Challenge Cup final here at St. Crone's J Club in County Roscommon. And we will bring you live coverage of the plate final between Mayo and Roscommon from 4 o'clock very shortly indeed. But for now, we'll leave you with the pictures from the presentation of the Challenge Cup final trophy. It has finished Cavan 14 points, Sligo a goal and 10.
I'm just saying to the boys there, that last wide, I was said about 10 Hail Marys as it was going wide there, so we're lucky to be standing up here. I'm lucky to be standing up here anyway with this trophy. So look, you'll be back next year, no doubt, bigger and stronger and pushing on for more glory again. Well done. 3 cheers to Sligo. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. To the Masters Committee, John, Pat, Jimmy and all the guys, a lot of the workers on the background to keep a competition like this going every year, and a fantastic competition it is. Any competition that keeps old boys like us feeling like young lads and are able to run around the football field for an hour or more, lads, it's great to have it, and long may it continue. Thanks very much. To our own boys and blues standing out there, it's hard work being a captain of a group of idiots like them, but I enjoyed every minute of it, lads. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be your captain for the year, and I thank you very much for that and for all your hard work that's gone on, and we reap the benefits of it again this year. 3rd trophy in a row, it's not bad. And lastly, to the boys at the top for us, to Keelan who came in as coach this year, to Cormac as selector, and especially knowing with fellows that they keep the whole thing together. They keep training sessions going all year. Every training session, they're there, the first there, the last men to leave. They put the whole lot of us together, and that's again the reaping of that, lads. And well done to you, well done to everyone. And lastly, best of luck to Mayo and Roscommon in the next final. Keep the thing going. Thanks very much.
takes a team, it takes discipline, it takes focus, targets, leadership. The difference is there's no final whistle with MFC.
Words like service, customer centred, focus, quality, garments. Way we do what we do, way we exist. That's the big one.